Okay, hey there, YouTube. Just wanted to do a quick base tour of my Factorio base here. So I'm sitting at, I'm playing the Bobs and Angels mod pack. I'm about 172 hours into this playthrough. So I'm just doing a completely blind run of this, not really looking up, for the most part, not looking up any wikis or guides or anything like that to go through it. So this is a it's gonna be a really inefficient base, but mostly just kind of having fun with stumbling through it and trying different things out. So in terms of the mods and stuff, there's Angels and Bob's add-ons in here. There's FENEI I'm using to look up recipes and stuff. I'm starting to play around with Hell mod a little bit, plan out some stuff. Squeak through to just so I can kind of get through some of the cramped stuff a little bit easier, positioning wise, and bottleneck to see when things are stopped and started and stuff like that. So, anyways, so to start out, maybe start out just to kind of give a quick map overview of kind of how it's laid out. So it looks kind of crazy and a mess because it definitely is, but this is kind of like the main production area. We have these walls surrounding everything here. There are kind of a few main components. There's ore that comes inbound through here. The ore gets sent down to this area for processing into for crushing and processing and all that kind of stuff. And then the ore gets sent over here for conversion into ingots, and then the ingots get smelted here, and then they get stored over here, and then after that, everything kind of comes out and gets produced up in this area. But there's a lot. Like I said, this is really inefficient, but it's a lot of. I find it a lot of fun. So lots of solar panels and stuff for electricity. So that's kind of the main base area. There's a bobmonium ore patch that I'm picking up from over here. I have some trains running out to pick that up. Some sapphirite ore that I'm picking up because I exhausted the initial patch over here. And that's kind of the overall layout. So to start off with, I think it'd be good to kind of start at the ore and walk through just how things kind of flow through the base here. So sapphirite ore stuff goes into crushers, sends it down this big line here. Same for rubyite, goes into the crushers, gets crushed. Bobmonium comes in here through the trains, and same for sapphirite up here. All that stuff gets crushed and sent into this one single line here, where we kind of collect all the different types of ore here, and then split it out among these different, one chest per ore type, and then we just have like a miscellaneous one here, I think. So anyways, we can kind of be constantly mining and then stockpiling it away for our train here to pick it up. The goal eventually is to have all this crushed ore come in through trains, so that's why it's kind of like, why not just use a belt here? Well, the idea is to kind of get everything used to using trains, and later on, as I expand out to other ore patches, that'll kind of come into play more there. So anyways, so you get the ore sent in the train, and then you have just a single stop right here. So to show this, so the train will take the ore, drop it off at this spot here, and then all of the crushed ore gets split out by ore type, and it goes down these lines here for storage. So you can see here different types of ore getting split out. And they have a silo for each type of ore. It's like a bobmonium, rubyite, sapphirite, stereotype silos over here. So that lets us kind of take our different types of ore, bring them in, store them, and things like that. So now, after we do that, we take the ore down in this way, through this kind of convoluted mess right here. And alright, you have your different ores that go into these flotation cells, they do this flotation stuff here, which produces chunks, and some other stuff. Chunks go this way to ore sorting facilities, which these give us our final chunks, our actual ore that we work with. So, right, so bobmonium chunks here, rubyite, yeah, the different types of chunks are going everywhere. And then we take the geodes, send them over here, we sort them out, and we use those to produce crystal slurry, which we use for other stuff. Yada. But anyway, so lots of stuff going down here with slurry, and we take the sludge here, and then we get a little bit more ore out of that, depending on what we need. But yeah, ultimately you get these chunks. You get your raw ore here, and then we kind of take all this ore and we collect it in this chest right here. And then basically from there, take it from the chest, load it into this train. So again, trying to design with trains in mind. We take it, we get all the ore in there, and then we take this train. So we're waiting until the inventory is full or a certain amount of time has passed, but for now we'll just kind of do it manually. So we take the ore here. This guy kind of loops around over here, over to our kind of our ingot production area. Right here. So this guy just kind of buffers all of the different types of ore in this chest right here, and then from there we split up the different types of ore on different belts. We buffer them here into these different types of chests, and then from there, so for example, we have nickel here going into wherever, I think nickel's all the way over here, producing nickel ingots, silicone right there. Yeah, so we produce all of our different types of ingots here by pulling off of these different lines for each different type of ore. And then, so that's kind of our input coming into here, and then our output is going on this line right here. So you can see copper and zinc or nickel, I think. Everything's kind of getting fed into this one output line here. So basically in this section you have ore comes in and then ingots go out of it. And that goes for everything here, pretty much. So from the output of there, so now you have ingots coming into this section of the factory. And then like this, if I kind of circle with my mouse, like this whole section here is about taking those ingots, smelting them into plates. So for example, we have steel, copper, brass, stuff like that. So for example, we have nickel getting produced over here. I think looks like we're backed up. Like I have a whole lot of stuff that gets backed up in this factory, but I think that's part of the fun is letting stuff get backed up and then figure out why it backs up and how to solve it, how to prevent it, stuff like that. For me at least it is. But anyways, so all these different types of ingots come through here, and then they just kind of take this circular path around here. Some of them are kind of stopped up right now. Let me see if I can let me fix this really quick. What are these guys? Oh, yep. We've fully stocked up on copper plates here. Let's set down some storage just for the sake of this video. Just unblock that. Okay. Alright, so that should relieve this shortage here, or this blockage. Take a second. Oh, yeah, I think it's gonna take a few minutes to clear out, but once it does, it should. Ultimately, what you'll see is this this whole thing here forms a loop, and ingots come into it. ingots get pulled off, converted into plates, and then the plates get outputted through this line here. Go up here. So we take all of our plates. So right now I'm splitting them up by some of the most common, so iron, copper, lead, steel, and storing. I have a silo for each of those different types of plates right now. And then I have this kind of catch-all silo over here for everything else that's not kind of standardized yet. But from there, we take it and then we feed it into our production. So that's kind of that takes me from like the raw ore from mining all the way up to having plates to work with for all these different types of ores and minerals and stuff. So then from there, we move up here, and I tried playing around with a bus a little bit, but it hasn't really worked too well for me so far. But I'm probably just not experienced with it yet, and haven't got it planned out the right way yet. But anyway, so we have iron plates, copper plates, and a bunch of lines coming up here. Feed those off to produce different types of science packs, for example. Have some red science, all kinds of stuff. So I started playing around with the bus here, but like I said, it hasn't really gone much anywhere. Up here, I have a mall, which this has been working pretty well. So I feed in, whatever types of plates I want here, and then, for example, once we hit 50 chests in here, this light turns on. So I can kind of tell at a glance if all these lights are turned on, then that means that we have a good amount of these items in stock that I can just pull off to construct with whenever I need to. So we have kind of a little mall up here, and then I started creating another mall here for the second level of belts and underground belts and splitters and stuff. This is still in progress. So like you can see here, the light's not turned on, so that means that we're backlogged on. We need more steel coming in this way to kind of meet our buffers there. So that's kind of the mall part of it. I have some other stuff going on over here for like taking water and getting mud out of it and producing wood and some other things that are needed for a few different things, these add-ons. Also producing these geodes, which you need for the slurry that we were looking at earlier. What else? Down here I have some circuit production going on. So I kind of like this little setup. So basically I have this big requester chest right here. And in here I'm requesting all the different materials, or most of the materials I need for circuits. So copper, lead, tin, silicone, stuff like that. So I get all this stuff in these chests, and then for example, here's my copper and my tin that comes out. And I get my wires, stuff like that. Tin and lead go over here, which gets me solder, I think. Yeah, this gives me solder, and then eventually that feeds into getting my electronic circuit boards, right? Stuff through here. So it's kind of this whole section. It all starts in this chest here, and then it branches off into these different lanes for the different components that I need to make the circuit boards. Now, granted, there's some other stuff like for some of these basic circuit boards and stuff. I need wood here, so some of the inputs are coming in over at this level rather than down through there. But anyway, so kind of like a little sub factory to do circuit board production. And yeah, I thought so it's kind of it's really kind of messy right now, but there's definitely kind of distinct components to how this is made up. Like you have the ore gathering, you have the like the flotation cells and the converting the raw ore into ore that you can work with over here. Then you have the creating the ingots. Then you have the ingots to plates. Then you have some storage. Then you have production. Then you have circuits, right? Then you have science. So you can add all these things up. I'm thinking that these are things I could probably split out into larger, kind of like a sub base, or like have like an entire section of the base, like in this whole empty space over here, that's just for smelting or just for doing one of those points. But for now, it's all kind of cramped into one kind of big section. So that's where it's at now, at least. Just to show a little bit about how the rest of this is set up. How about this? So this will go over to the bobmonium patch over here. So just an extremely basic little setup right here. Bobmonium ore patch. I need to defend this thing better, definitely. It's kind of in rough shape right now. Need to repair all this stuff. Need to kill the biters that are close by. Anyway, so this guy's just constantly producing bobmonium ore and crushed stone. Excuse me. Feeding it down these lanes into here. And so whenever a train loads up, then we can easily just hop right on here and we're good to go. So that's the bobmonium part of it, and we'll look last at the sapphirite or steatite, whichever one it is. We'll look at that really quick, and then that'll be it, I think. So here's the sapphirite ore patch over here. Same exact thing. It's basically like a little patch of ore, surrounded by some walls, put some defenses up and stuff, but then yeah, constantly be mining ore over here, dropping into this little chest so that as soon as the train comes around, we have a big buffer that's ready to load up. And then whenever it fills up here, let's head straight back to the base. And it feeds into like the central ore collection area that we were looking at earlier, where it crushes it and then goes back to the system. So anyways, that's where I'm at here, 170 hours into this blind run of Bobs and Angels. Again, very inefficient setup, but very fun, I think. Lots of fun to see stuff break and then go in and fix it and just kind of think about it and relax with it. So anywho, that's it for now. Thanks.